Welcome to a Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. I figured since I'm painting miniatures, Warhammer 40k miniatures, at least just started doing that stuff, I am going down two rabbit holes. One of them is just painting miniatures in general. The other one's Warhammer 40k. And it's not that I haven't been reading into Warhammer for a bit. It's I don't know, for some reason the miniature painting kind of boosted my interest more than it was. I have the um, Eisenhorn Omnibus book. I started reading it. I got most of the way through the first book and stopped, probably because something else caught my interest. Um, but I'm going to get back into that. I also had Rogue Trader for a while. Played it for a little bit, stopped probably because something else caught my interest. It's also because usually I have trouble completing these games, but hopefully my interest in Warhammer will overtake my lack of, I guess, lack of interest. I guess there's no other way I can think of that I could put it, because it's not that I don't have lack of interest in this kind of game. But anyway, hopefully my interest in Warhammer will overtake my lack of interest in this kind of game. Um, so here we go, I guess. We're going to do main story. I don't have Void Shadows. I'm not going to get Void Shadows until I beat the main story. Continue. Take up the mantle of a rogue trader. The scion of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade protectorate and explore fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of Von Valencius as it faces multiple threats from within its own ranks and without, as countless enemies seek to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It is up to you to hold the reins of this shattered protectorate and forge a new path for the Von Valencius dynasty, currently finding itself in a vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. The stakes are high and rise even higher as you cross paths with terrifyingly powerful and ambitious adversaries in the darkness of the Coronis expanse. I'm in normal difficulty. Grim Darkness. Is that like Iron Man mode? This mode is ultimate challenge for boldest Lord Captains. This is not me right now. Through the mercies of all decisions, victories, and losses in the Grim Darkness mode are final and irreversible. You only have a single save, yeah, it's Iron Man mode, which is updated automatically every time you exit the game. No loading from an earlier point, no second chances, and no changing previous decisions. If you manage to successfully overcome all obstacles and make it to the way to the epilogue, bringing glory to the Von Valencius dynasty, you will receive the There Is Only War achievement and a special item for all your future playthroughs as a testament to your skill and bravery. If your party or your void ship is defeated in battle, your grim darkness journey ends here. You will be offered to either honorably accept your fate and delete the save, or continue the game in custom mode. However, completing this story will not grant you the There Is Only War achievement and the special reward. The Emperor Protects. It's possible to turn it off, and currently only available in single player mode. No thank you. I'm not an achievement hunter. If I get people donating and following and stuff, then possibly I will take that torture for you guys. But right now I'm playing this for myself. So continuing. Custom character, of course. Appearance. Portrait. Let's try to make it like this guy. No, never mind. He's not. Let's see what I can make him. I hate this shit. I hate that they have like set portraits and it can't be just a picture or something of what you have here. Like Baldur's Gate did that really well, but I like to make it so that my character looks like the portrait in these kinds of things, and it kind of limits me. Maybe you. And maybe him. Let's start with you. Why is he scarred? He's not scarred, is he? No. Why is it showing scar? Alright, it's gotta be that half hair thing. Or maybe it won't be that half hair thing. Because there's no half hair thing. Why would they include this? Oh, I guess he is kind of scarred, huh? There it is. It is black, right? Yep. Not so thick eyebrows. Kind of like that, but a little bit straighter. Maybe no. I hate the wispy. I hate the wispy. I think that one may do it. Or that one may do it. Yeah. And then he's got something like that, but not like that. No. A little bit more like that, I suppose. Not that. More like that. That looks a lot like that. I think that's it. Tattoos, I think I have free reign on as long as it's not on the face. That one. Just because I can. He has studs. Can't even tell what that one's supposed to be. Not that one. No. It's not cross-shaped. Doesn't have an eye like that. That one I think will do. Augmentation 2. He has a stud in the far back as well. I don't think it has a stud in the far back though. So we'll leave that part blank. Voice.
To investigate.
Something of interest.
Deliver their demise. Look upon the Emperor's faithful and tremble.
I like that one.
I'll make it happen.
Lance batteries, volley!
Engage the engines.
I like that one too.
Whispers. Guy. Curious. This could be an opportunity.
Let my fury reign. The
This
best
one.
defense is a good offense.
Homeworld. This one I'm gonna need to read. I don't really know much about this. Death World. On Death Worlds, the plants, beasts, and sometimes even the environment itself takes aggressive. Well, let's see the features. The features I get first from them. I really wish I could do my class first, because I don't know what I'm gonna do. Or archetype. Fine. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, fuck. Back. Warrior, officer, operative, soldier. I think he's going to be a warrior. Warriors are combatants boasting exceptional melee prowess capable of dealing high damage in close quarter combat and withstanding heavy amounts of damage. They also excel at drawing enemies' attention from less defended allies. You know what? I like the idea of being a soldier. What is operative? Operative uses intelligence and perception to find and exploit weaknesses in the enemy's defenses. None can withstand attacks from an operative. Probably snipers. Soldier is master of all ranged weapons, quickly able to assume an advantageous position from where they stand ready to rain fire on an enemy. While well-trained in highly different range firearms, a soldier is particularly proficient in blasting their targets with burst fire and area weapons. Core focus is movement and range attacks, cover and dodge, burst fire, and attacks. Close quarters combat and withstanding heavy amount of damage. They also excel at drawing enemies' attention from less defended allies. Melee movement and dodge, armor and parry, taunts. I want a mix of both. Is that possible? I want to be able to do somewhat both. I'll start with soldier. It's the ballistic skill, agility, awareness, and demolition. What about character modifiers? Is it just ballistic skill and agility? Agility is one of them. This one doesn't even have any character modifiers. So, for character modifiers, it's either Death World or Hive World. Survival Instinct. Once per combat, when the wounds of a Death World character drops below 30%, they gain 20% of their maximum wounds as temporary wounds. Death World characters. I'm trying to think of how that works. Death World characters also gain a plus 20% bonus to dodge and armor while they have at least one temporary wound from any source. Hive World. Well, there's still other things at the bottom here. They have Brutal Hunter. 15% plus 15% critical hit chance, crit chance against targets with bleeding or with 50% or less of their maximum wounds. I'm not liking that so far. Strength in numbers. Hive World characters gain +1 1 plus fellowship bonus divided by 2. Resolve. And what's not fellowship? If there are 3 or more creatures, allies, or enemies within a 3-cell radius, yet they suffer a -2 penalty to resolve with no creatures around. So extroverts. What's the advantage of Imperial Words? You get no characteristic modifiers, and the same amount of talents and features. The characters can select any characteristic except for weapon skill or ballistic skill, and add +10. Okay, that's a better advantage. Fortress World is each time a Fortress World character kills an enemy, they gain +10 stacks of Never Stop Shooting. I don't know what that is. At the start of their turn, there is a stack of Never Stop Shooting percentage chance that the first attack this round will cost 0 AP and will not count toward the attack limit per turn. If this triggers, all the stacks are lost. Oh, they still have character modifiers. I think I'd rather just be in an Imperial World. Ready to serve. When an Imperial world or character is affected by an ally's non-damaging ability, or affects an ally with such an ability that their resolve is increased by fellowship bonus divided by 2 for 1 round. Doing my part. If no other character in the current party has the same archetype as this character, the first archetype ability used in each combat by this character costs -1 AP less. Stronger together, all allies excluding Xenos in the current party gain +5 to the same characteristic as was chosen for humanity's finest. While under 40% wounds, Imperial World characters gain +10 bonus to all characteristics and +2 resolve. No heresy. Imperial World characters gain +10% critical hit chance and +10% armor against Xenos or demonic creatures. Their allies gain half the bonuses of No Heresy. However, Imperial World characters Lore Xenos and Lore Warp are always 0. I still like Imperial World characters. Why do I look like a priest? An Imperial world is one of a million planets united by the belief that the immortal god emperor. Hailing from hyper-technological society to grimy feudal populations, the inhabitants of countless worlds offer fealty and devotion to the master of humanity and the imperial creed espoused by his servants. The designation Imperial World encompasses a vast array of wholly dissimilar worlds that are nevertheless part of the Imperium. I think I'll keep Imperial World. Do I want to keep agility? Keep doing with agility. So I can't do ballistic skill. Agility, awareness, and demolition. Which are only agilities on here. Imperial World characters can select. Yep, I know that. Describes how well a character perceives their surroundings. Characters with high perception can pick out a stray bolt or shell casing in between the day-to-day morass of an underhive, or even tell when someone is being deceitful. It also affects the awareness skill and reduces enemy dodge chance. The awareness skills, that's one of the things I have, right? Yes, that's one of the things I like. Okay, we're gonna keep perception. Imperial World. Origin. Commissar, Crime Lord, Ministrum Priest, Navy Officer, User, me, Noble. I don't want to be a psyker. Navy Officer. Looks silly. Commissar is nice, but I think I tried them last time. I didn't like it. Brace for impact. For 1 round, the Navy officer and their allies in a 3-cell radius gain +2 deflection for each archetype taken by the Navy officer. They also cannot be forcefully moved or over penetrated. What does Commissar do again? At all costs. His next single shot or single target melee attack applies the following effects. Enemy target. The target becomes marked. The ally who kills the marked enemy gains an extra turn after the current one with +2 AP and +4 MP. Allied target. At all allies gain an additional +1 AP and +3 MP for 1 round. Splendid graph. Welcome. Can only be used once per combat. The Commissar themselves cannot gain bonus from this ability. Finally, fixing my sleep schedule. That's good. I'm hoping it's your sleep is improving. I really have no need to fix my sleep schedule. I'm right now. I'm kind of a dedicated stay-at-home dad, as well as streamer. So. My sleep schedule works for me for now. Commissars of the Officio Perfectus are ruthless officers charged with maintaining the morale, discipline, and fighting spirit of their Astra Militarum regiment. You used to be one of these faithful servants of the God Emperor, a living symbol of Imperium authority, regarded with a mix of fear and awe by their subordinates. Maybe it was just the archetype I did that I didn't like. Past 2 days, got 12 hours of sleep, leaning closer into my previous sleep schedule I had. Is that an improvement? I don't remember if that was an improvement or not. +5 weapon skills, +5 fellowship, coercion, athletics, fellowship, coercion, duty and honor, while the commissar's allies under the effect. I'm just gonna. These are talents. Can I assume these are? No, some of these are passives. While the commissar's ally is under the effects of adult cost, that ally suffers +50% damage, but gains +2 AP and +4 MP instead of +1 and +3. Motivation. Anytime the commissar grants additional movement points to an ally character, they give +2 movement points more. For the Emperor, when momentum is less than 100 points, at all costs grants +20 +2 times fellowship bonus momentum on killing marked enemy or targeting an ally. Show them contempt. While the commissar is adjacent to an enemy, all their allies gain plus commissar's fellowship bonus plus divided by 2 resolve. Summary execution. If the commissar kills the target at all cost, they can use at all cost once more this combat for 0 AP. So at all cost can be used once per combat. Yes, that's what it says right there. Currently at normal sleep schedule for the normal person, waking up at 10 a.m. and sleeping at 10 a.m. Working towards waking up at 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And going to sleep at 3 a.m. or 6 a.m. Okay, so you're shifting it over. Do you have a graveyard shift at your work right now? That's the only reason I would think of trying to wake up at 12. Triumph, apex of brilliance, illustrious glory, or feat of greatness. Demolition, coercion, and logic. Coercion is represented by the fellowship characteristic. Talent to manipulate other people through intimidation and reach their desired goals via threats and pressure during dialogue. I like that. Logic. Towards intelligence. Makes a character's rational arguments more convincing. It allows them to notice any logical inconsistencies in other people's words. Also, it helps to operate cogitators more efficiently. May give access to new dialogue options. I guess it... Can I see what my current characteristics are? Yes, I can. Oh, I get to modify them. Okay. I like the apex of brilliance. You played a key role in exposing a conspiracy among your superior officers in the Astra Militarum. I don't have a job yet, but I want a night shift. I remember in the military, I had to switch between 12-hour nights and 12-hour days every 6 months. That was not fun. I hope you find a stable night shift job where you don't have to do that, because that was awful. Okay, Darkest Hour. So you have a Triumph and a Darkest Hour. Grim Portents, Brand of Shame, or Shadow of Torment. Grim Portents is a -5 awareness, but I like my awareness. I like my persuasion. I like all of these, but I have to take one. I'll take Shadow of Torment. You were attacked by a group of renegade guardsmen during a mutiny and were beaten half to death. God damn. Archetype I already chose as a soldier, which can be a bounty hunter, master tactician, or an arc militant. Arc Militant is a formal master of warfare able to blend various weapons and styles mid-combat. This is what I want. Be it melee or range or anything in between. The Arc Militant is the best at it and becomes stronger and stronger with each second in battle. Core focuses versatility, large area attacks, personal buffs, weapon set rotation, crowd control. That's what I want. Oh, I didn't mean to go back like that. Sold goal. I already have found the job, but I need the time to do it. Since my time is all taken by watching my siblings. Okay. Yeah. Time's a bitch. time's a bitch. It's pretty much all I can say about that. You never have enough of it. What's the saying? Time is our worst enemy, something like that. Ballistic skill, agility, awareness, demolition. Okay, moving on to characteristics. Ballistic skill needs to go up. Oh, I don't have a lot. I thought that was okay. So ballistic skill is going up twice. Fellowship is going up once. Perception's going up once. For now. Agility should go up once at least to make up for my darkest hour. Shouldn't it be more than just demolition? I think agility would count for more than just demolition. Quickness and reflexes and poise. High agility allows character to manipulate delicate explosives with finesse or to keep their footing when crossing treacherous terrain. Okay, so it shows things on. It doesn't show all the things on here. It improves the character's initiative, dodge, chance, and reaction. If a character uses a melee weapon, their dodge reduction is equal to half their agility. It also affects the demolition skill. No surface ores of any kind, making... Oh, wait. I also have been playing a lot of Vintage Story. Recently started a challenge, too. No surface ores of any kind, making a copper age hard. I bet. I'm sure you're doing a lot, like, taking a lot of time panning. Me and Amsicles haven't played in about a week. She's been feeling not quite well enough to stare at a screen. So I've been putting some variety in the games. I've also, if you go to the YouTube archive, yesterday I started something new. I'm sure you could just find the VOD that's still in Twitch, but I started in keeping up with the Warhammer theme. In a way, I started painting miniatures. So I've been doing that. I started doing that. So yeah. What's got them down? What's got what down? I think I want fellowship. Commerce. Represents characters' business sense and their ability to make profitable bargains. May give access to new dialogue. I think that's a good thing for Rogue Trader. Sword class frigate. Okay, so I don't know why it gives me the semblance of some kind of choice here. Destiny Hunter. I just like that name. The sword class frigate is a classic void ship design proven in thousands of battles, combining decent firepower, high speed, and respectable survivability. Stuff right here. The Von Valencius flagship is the mightiest void ship belonging to the Von Valencius dynasty. Every system aboard this frigate has been tried and tested in innumerable engagements. Its weapons and turrets deliver hard-hitting volleys with pinpoint accuracy. Anything making Yamsicle... The stare... Oh, Amsicles. She's just... she just wasn't feeling too well. She has frequent headaches. She used to have them a lot. A couple of years ago, and I'm sure she doesn't mind me saying this because she doesn't mind me saying it when I had a job as well. When people bring up like a time I had to take off of work, she had major surgery near her, like it was brain adjacent surgery, and before that surgery she had massive very painful migraines, and this surgery drained the pressure in her head, and they put a shunt in as well, and the headaches still come on every once in a while, but they're much less intense. They're more manageable. She can take a migraine medication and it actually helps, whereas prior to the surgery, the migraine medication didn't do a damn thing. But if she ever had a headache before the surgery, she had to be in a pitch black room and not be interrupted by anything, like no noise or anything. Otherwise, it was a ton of pain for her. At least they were able to help as much as they did. Yes, thankfully, like, it's a genetic thing. Her mother has the same thing as well, and they had to take her in for 2 surgeries, but thankfully for Amsicles, the technology and the technique has improved to where hopefully it's just 1 surgery for her. Alright, continue with this. The flagship size and maneuverability are perfect for pursuing smaller, faster raiders and for hunting the countless pirates, Xenos, and heretics in the Coronis Expanse. Numerous Von Valencius rogue traders have acknowledged the exceptional performance of this vessel, and with a few minor updates, the flagship has continued to faithfully serve the Von Valencius dynasty. Result is one badass motherfucker who has average athletics, even though he's supposed to have more athletics. Ignatius. Clement, no. Edmant, too close to a friend's name. Seth. Vorgan's nice. I like Vorgan. Let's keep that in mind. Borin, no. Cornelius, no. Esteban, no. Solar, no. Macarius. Nickname Mac. Macarius, nicknamed Mac. I like it. Okay, we're doing that. I gotta do something before somebody activates something. Turn this off. I've gone through a rough time with anxiety, hit a point where all I could do was lay on the couch, moaning in fear silently, but got the help needed to get back out of the pit, and now I'm here. That's good. Amsicles has a bit of anxiety issues as well. She's been able to overcome it, though. We're doing a lot better um, when it comes to, for me at least, finding out when that's happening, recognizing it, and talking to her about it, or at least lending her an ear.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
Choices and dialogues. You are in a dialogue here. You can learn more about current events, influence the characters that you are speaking to, or even alter the course of the game's narrative. Your character's personal story depends on the dialogue choices you make. Available dialogue options are displayed in the blah 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 blah. Got it. Frankly, such an excess to be tired. All this ostentatious luxury, this laughable pretense, is enough to make one think the architect's meant to compensate rather than glorify. Have we met? Do you have a particular reason? Have we met?
Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
Voigtveer bows his head and focuses his attention on you. You can hover your cursor over highlighted words to learn more about them. Yep. My name is Macarius, but you can call me Mac. Divisional Commissar of the Officio Prefectus Macarius Xanathaw. That's a mouthful. I didn't realize I had a last name either.
My regards, Commissar. Finding you was a difficult task given your parents' fate and your upbringing in the Schola Progenium. Truly, our meeting is an act of providence, is it not?
Voigtveer smiles faintly, but you are not sure it is directed at you. Schola Progenium, a division of the ecclesiarchy responsible for the upbringing, education, and training of orphans of those officers and nobles who have died in the service of the Imperium.
I will be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who gave them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship. Bear it with honor.
Sounds good to me. Lord Captain, a strange title for the Lady Theodora. Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here? You have a curious title, Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities? So I found myself in. What are your?
To put it
What do you
plainly,
do?
I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencias. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others.
Mine is a bit genetic and traumatic, but I have certainly been able to progress from it. That's good. That's very good. You say I'm one of the Rogue Trader's heirs, so there's another candidate.
There is. And you will meet him soon enough.
Okay, enough said, I guess. I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Ethelthrad von Valencias are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Oh, we're not... Okay.
I always keep my options open.
Can I actually, like, walk? Interactable objects. Some objects in the game can be interacted with in special way. They are marked with specific icons. Some icons allow you to study objects, while others will transfer the character to neighboring locations or launch small event. These icons become visible when your character is standing close enough to interact with them. Click on the icon to perform the associated action. Some interactive objects, such as doors or chests, are not always marked with icons, but the cursor changes when you hover over them. Hover your cursor over the object. If the cursor changes, the object is interactable. Hold tab to highlight objects your character can interact with. I'm gonna be lurking now. I missed a dosage of my medication a few days ago, and as a result, have been feeling off for a bit. Should get back to normal tomorrow, though. Okay, good luck. Thanks for stopping by. You go ahead and lurk. I'll be here for a few hours. Was it 8:30? Yeah, I got plenty of time. So use me as background music if you must. I'm fine with it.
Let us not dawdle.
A massive conference table, obviously crafted from real wood. I wasn't done with that yet. A resource of incredible value aboard the void ship. Show data on the big screen. The sacred mechanism has been interfered with without due reverence. The duration of the data processing cycle has tripled. Same thing.
Is there money to be made?
Noble guest. What are you doing? May his will strengthen my heart. May my humble deeds be for the benefit of humanity. The candlelit altar with a copy of that volume of the Lex Imperialis, the Codex of the Sacred Laws of the Imperium.
Always keep your eye on the price.
Oh, I gotta open it. Okay.
One of the Fon Valencia's trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
What's happening?
Oof.
Run! The servitors have gone berserk! No mercy to those who oppose Von Valancius!
To survive in the grim darkness of the far future, you will have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These hints and tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system of the Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Click the button at the top of the screen to start the battle. Oh, damn, they do a lot of damage. Movement. All battles in the game are turn-based and take place on a grid. On their turn, a character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Select a cell within the highlighted area and double-click on it to move the character there. Movement points, MP, determine how far a character can move on their turn. 1 MP corresponds to 1 cell in the battlefield. Moving diagonally is more costly. Every second diagonal cell uses 2 MP. Every second diagonal cell. At the beginning of each turn, movement points are restored to their maximum value. Note that once a character starts moving, this action can no longer be cancelled. Does it want me to move right now? I'm gonna assume it wants me to move.
Don't let your guard down.
Action points. Yeah, it did. To make attacks and use abilities in combat, the character must spend action points, or AP. Their total is displayed on the panel at the bottom of the screen. Every attack or ability has a certain AP cost associated with it. The number of squares next to the icon of attack, actions, and other abilities indicate their AP cost. At the start of each character's turn, their AP is restored to their maximum value. To attack, first left click on a single shot icon on the weapon panel at the bottom of the screen. Hover the cursor over the enemy. A tooltip will appear showing the chances of hitting that enemy and the possible damage you can deal on a successful hit. Click on the enemy to fire. The amount of damage your characters deal depends on the parameters of the weapon they are using. The effectiveness of the shot depends on the distance between the character and their enemy. When you target an enemy with a single shot, you'll see two areas denoting the weapon's effective and maximum ranges. When you target them, so not when I hover over the thing. Certain abilities are in-game are considered attack actions and can only be used once per turn unless affected by specific talents or other abilities a character might have. If a character performs an attack action, they will not be able to attack again and will lose their remaining movement points until the start of the next turn. Hit chance, effective distance 85%, max distance 42%. Oh, I have a 50% chance that. Okay.
I am ready for whatever comes.
85%
It's
better.
as good as done.
And I still miss. I have bad luck in these games. When you're ready to end your turn, press space or click on the end turn button on the bottom right of the screen. We all suck, and your lasers are going right through them. Let's move back a bit.
I'll see to it personally.
You can do anything?
Taking calculated risk is my second nature. Who, if not me?
Dang. Kunrez, slick. Tech now. Characters. Damn. I can scarcely believe it. On a day like this.
Poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan.
Tactical. Characters with melee weapons block adjacent enemies' ability to perform attacks with ranged weapons. Pistols and shotguns are an exception to this rule, but those can be fired at point blank. So if you're adjacent to an enemy, if my character is next to an enemy that has a melee weapon, I can't use my pistol. Oh no, pistols and shotguns. I can't use this like a bolter rifle. Spread out. No one is allowed to enter the premises. Stations.
I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
The Master of Whispers gives you a curt bow. You can use map to orient yourself. That's what the map looks like. Okay. Oh, it can change what the orientation of the room. These windows look into the next room, not outside the void ship. You cannot make out anything through the cloudy glass. Only the weak light filtering through from that side.
Rise to the top or get
It's
left
an
in
illusion.
the dust.
The wires in the servitor's head are still smoldering. It would seem the cause of this malfunction, stay long enough, was short-circuiting of the motive force. Tarantula sentry gun constructed with the blessing of the Adeptus Mechanicus using a standard template construct in the manufactorums of Kiava Gamma. Lemma Rus battle tank reclaimed and restored by the grace of the God Emperor the First to breach the capital walls during the pacification of Vortes Shun. I'm not going to read all these. Servitors. I'm assuming I just go straight here. Tech Priest.
I always keep my options open.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
Your first impression of Edelthrad, who appears to be about 30 years old, is of parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants, and bone. The nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted by a slight tic, and the jerky movements are all a sign of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form. In stark contrast to Edelthrad, Theodora von Valencia's features appeared as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Edelthrad. Next to the two of them, you see two more men. One is a gray-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manner of weapons.
Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Passive skill tests. Your character's skills reflect their knowledge and capabilities. Some dialogues automatically initiate passive skill tests. If such a test succeeds, new information will be revealed or a hidden dialogue option will unlock. If your character is traveling with allies, the party member with the highest score in the applicable skill is selected for each given passive test. Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify that if that is indeed the case, and if the population of Ion 6 engages in Xeno worship. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Ion 6 is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so. It'll give us the answer. I'm a former connoisseur. I would continue sending more people. One crew after no. These reports of spirits certainly sound like evidence of heresy. However, I would not put my interests first. No matter what means I would have to choose, the riches of Ion 6 would be mine. I would put my interests first. Ion 6 must be purged for the good of the Imperium. I shall exterminate the heretical beliefs and otherworldly powers. Let's do the lore of Xenos.
Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor.
Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you are simply unaware of their existence.
Okay, a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Elthred. We're both servants of the God Emperor and Lady Theodora. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? I find your tone most disagreeable, Elthred. You will kindly alter your manner. No. First one.
Insolent, ignorant upstart. How dare you?
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officers' deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
Get fucked.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
Elthred bows ceremoniously and takes his leave without sparing you another look. You can tell he's either going to be gone or dead, because he doesn't have a portrait. Ain't bother.
So, why are you here?
Was not you who sent for me. There are questions I wish to have answered. I do not know yet. I would hope you would clarify that. Questions.
You are direct. I approve. But you will have to wait. There is something I want you to understand first. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all.
Hi.
Hi.
Should
Are
I,
you middle of...
yes. Should I go AFK for now?
I need you for 30 seconds.
Okay, I'll go AFK for now. This one. And back.
It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon. Resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with Fon Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
Does that mean there are other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate.
That doesn't make me feel good.
Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you? Yeah.
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name Fon Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
If you are satisfied with Elthrad, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse. Once, you were a commissar of the Imperial Guard, a political officer who was not afraid to face his own death or to send his underlings to theirs. Resolve, faith, implacability. All of it gives one a unique perspective when presented with a situation where a less steadfast individual could falter. Trust me, your future holds plenty of situations where your commitment to your duty, or your house's interests, will be one of your strengths. Moreover, your remarkable mental abilities were noted in your profile. If you can find a way to exhibit them in the service of the Fon Valancius dynasty, well, so much the better.
By the way, if anybody wants me to go over one of the tooltips, by the way, I didn't know I did this. Your outstanding intellect is known beyond the bounds of your home system. Really, I'm very smart. But other things that explain the lore of Warhammer itself, and I skip past it. Just let me know so I can look over it next time. So, if you're curious as to what goes on in the Warhammer universe. Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
Navigator translation, what are these things you speak of?
Sometimes I forget that people without direct access to a ship's bridge may not know the first thing about how a void ship travels between the stars. Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing into the warp, an otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Gellerfield, we shorten the route to our destination, crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead. Sometimes in days or even hours. That is how humanity spread across the galaxy. That is how we were able to build the Imperium, which spans millions of stars.
Maybe I should tell her about this. Maybe that should have been the first thing. An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
Where is your ship heading?
The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor.
I can also, as far as the tooltips goes, while the conversation is going on, just hover over them for a brief moment to read, for people to read. As long as it's a long paragraph like that and doesn't have many tooltips, it should be enough, I think.
I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
Your book or your Kindle? Not that I know of. What are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
I am not going to brown nose, so I'm going to skip that one. I have no more questions.
In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
Oh boy.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
All combatants act in turns and... Calm down, Jesus. And their order is determined by an initiative roll. The order of turns is displayed on the left side of the screen from the bottom of the top to the top. The character at the very bottom goes first, then the one above them, and so on. Theodora, then Albert. I am midway through that. Who's that? Mort? Start the battle.
Emperor, protect me!
A tactically sound approach.
God damn!
Break their morale. To the heretics.
Holy shit!
Out of my way.
Missed me. Use cover to avoid enemy attacks. Cover that a character can hide behind or mark with a shield or a shield with a skull. When standing close to them, the character will automatically take up an advantageous position. In this case, the chance that enemy attacks will hit the cover and not the character behind them increases. The character will not receive a bonus if attacked from the side and not protected by their current cover. What? What? Why? The bonus being... Oh, okay. Just that. What does this do again? Commissar's next single shot or a single target melee attack applies the following effect. Okay.
I don't need luck. I have strategy. I'll see to it.
Hell yeah.
I am your doom. Death to the
Your character has just landed a critical hit that deals increased damage equal to the character's critical damage stat. Character's critical damage is 150% of their normal damage by default. However, certain talents, effects, and abilities can increase it. Certain weapons have their own critical damage stat, which is added to the character's total stat value during attack.
Stay vigilant.
Holy shit. These guys suck. Positive effects. Your character has received temporary positive effect from an ally. Such effects are enhance your character's capability in combat in some way. To learn more about the effect you have gained, hover your cursor over the effects icon next to your character's portrait. Macarius. From kill them. Permanent. Plus 50% ballistic skill until the end of combat. The last person is over there.
Let's make some opportunities. I'll make it happen. On it. Another enemy down.
Oh, right. At least I got 2 kills. That didn't seem too pathetic.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
What is happening?
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
Oh, the casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them.
How could there be armed people in the ranks of the crew who would dare attack the Lord Captain?
Trust me, this is hardly surprising for a crew of thousands. The lower decks are a fertile environment for discontent and heresy, no matter how one tries to incinerate any seed before it can take root. All it takes is a hint of warp influence to cloud the minds of normally obedient cattle.
Sporadic riots on the lower decks never reach these compartments. No, the tumults of the rabble are always contained within their own territory. This is too well organized. It is spreading too rapidly.
The incident with the rampaging servitors may be connected to what is transpiring now.
Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation.
What are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
I always have a backup plan.
Oh, am I not supposed to go here? First agency request for cargo transfers there. I see an alert across about lost communication with decks 8 and 12. Okay, so I go this way. Not that way, obviously.
Let us know, Dordle.
The heretic's body is riddled with holes. An improvised single shotgun lies smoking in his hand. Oh! What just happened there? What was that?
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, hold yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
Mutiny, but who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp? Mutiny against the Emperor's anointed. Execute these traitors, every last one of them. We must provide immediate assistance. Those still in the middle decks, perhaps then we might stop this from spreading. If this is indeed a severe case of warp madness, and this situation is dire. Who would mutiny in the middle of the warp?
Lunatics, fools, heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once.
Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously.
Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on transitional deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psyker powers.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
In whatever state, what does that mean?
We're considering the attack,
What's wrong with you?
there could be a disruption in the Geller field and the infiltration of malevolent forces onto the decks. Psychers can react to such things in the most unpredictable ways.
Enough! Master of Whispers, you must not allow my heir to turn into a mindless mutant and to perish under Enforcer fire. Do whatever it takes to bring Edelthrad back to me.
I hear and obey, Lord Captain.
Then move out! Mort, come.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
By proposition, since I'm the more important person here, you can go to the front and shield me from potential threats. You had better not fail me. The Lord Captain made it clear you're relying on you is fraught with... Jesus. I shall make do. Lead the way.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
Something hits you hard with a sharp crackle, and you are consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. I promised you a special destiny, Macarius. It is time to fulfill it. Grand strategists are rulers of the battlefield. They divide and conquer, divide the combat zone into functional areas and make the best of them, providing not only strong positive effects to allies and negative effects to enemies, but also additional unique effects. Don't kick me, asshole.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
Voitvir, you two-faced scum. You were the one behind this mayhem.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
Why are you doing this?
Why? Because I am following an order. What is happening on this ship right now has been in the making for a very long time. All that remains is to obtain what my master sent me for. The Warrant of Trade.
What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for a sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy? You sordid, wretched piece of grok shit.
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind.
Heretic!
Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench, Fon Valencius, watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
The blade flashes in the dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Fight the voice in your head. Get out, I'm not your puppet. The voices in your head giggle and mock at your desperate outcry. You feel the intruding influence forcing you onto your feet, and making you take a step forward, toward the gates looming in the center of the chamber. You were wounded by the corrupted weapon, which led to a warp entity invading your mind. Skill tests and dialogues. One of the available dialogue options requires you to make a skill test. Unlike with passive tests, such which are made automatically, in this case you can decide whether or not to select an option, the consequences of which will depend on the result of the associated test. Success or failure affects how the dialogue develops. Depending on the context, you might change the course of the conversation, alter the character's attitude, or perform an action whose consequences will only become apparent later. Hover your cursor over the dialogue option that requires a skill test, and you will see a tooltip detailing your chances of success. The number after the skill's name indicates the difficulty of the test. Once your character starts traveling with allies, a party member with the... Yep, we heard that before. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from the lobotomized human being. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Got it. 100% chance. Examine the device. You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. Oh, excuse me. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, demanding sacrifice. The voices that fill your head after Voigtveer wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. Examine the sentinel. Servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you are used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with copper thread, and it has metal hinges in place of standard joints. It seems like the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. Look back.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
Look for anything that could be used as a weapon. You look around for in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar in sight. Place your hand on the sentinel's maw. The sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you're beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you'd catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this has ever happened.
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
It's a clever device. You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel, the Cogitator? Is it the figment of your wary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
There is still another way.
That was awesome. All right, I think with that bit of pyrotechnics out of the way, I am going to call it for the night. I will hopefully be able to make this a thing. I usually don't play story games on stream because I didn't stream as much as I could to keep up with the story, to remember it, just to remember what was going on, stuff like that. Hopefully with this new open schedule, I will be able to change that. Still gonna do vintage stories, still gonna do the painting, probably still gonna do other games as well, but this will be in a constant lineup for now. But anyway, if anybody's watching, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the follow button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe or donate button. Remember, there is a link below to the YouTube archives for the VODs. Twitch has a limited time of keeping the VODs up, so you can find a archive version on that YouTube channel that will edit out the intro, outro, and any break sections, so you don't have to skip through that yourself. Other than that, thank you everybody so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.